Watch and learn, baby.
Hello everyone, Gene Molina here from Natural Tennis Solutions. So, how would you like to get a lesson from me? Now, I'm sure plenty of you would love to get a lesson from me, but what if you could actually get a lesson where I get to feel what your feel is during each shot? It's impossible. I can't do that for you. As a coach, I can try to guide you there, but I cannot do that for you. I cannot actually hit the ball for you and feel what you're feeling. Only you can feel what's happening with your body. So the only way to actually get this done is to use something like this. So this is called the Babolat Piq Sensor. Babolat, in collaboration with Piq, have made a device that we can actually use to sense our feel. At least that's how I'm interpreting it. The way this works for me is we can actually figure out how much faster, how much smoother our stroke is dependent upon how we actually go about it. So for example, if I decide to hit 10 forehands and I do them with a very tight grip and a very tight arm, this will give me data. It will give me the actual results of what I am doing. Then I do another 10, but I loosen it up, about halfway with tension. Then another 10 with the loosest that I can be. It will give me the data to actually let me know I was smoother, I hit harder, I maybe got more spin because of the fact that I was looser. So this is the actual way to get these answers that have been very difficult to find, other than trying to feel what's happening and making sure you stay very, very loose. In the ultra modern display box, you will find the Piq sensor and Piq fuel, which is a USB connectable charging hub that holds up to 3 charges once fully charged. The sensor itself can hold a charge for up to 8 hours. The sensor weighs 9.8 grams, is waterproof, and has an LED display. Also in the box is the wristband, which holds the sensor and an activation card for the Babolat Pop app you will need to download to review your session stats. The Babolat Pop app is what Babolat is using to do it, but remember, it's called the Babolat Piq Sensor. Your stats for just hitting, training, or match play can be recorded. You get to specify which type of category your session falls into once you sync your sensor to the app sync instructions. I found it quite useful as I got to record an open hitting session and a match play session and compared the data. I found that my average forehand and backhand speeds were higher in my open session than in my match play. This showed me that I was playing more tentative in my match play and made me realize that I needed to hit at the speed of my open session during match play more than focusing on winning. Sometimes winning is much more than just a score. We need to feel like we're going for it at all times and not just in practice. Another cool part about the stats was that it gives you a total of forehands, backhands, and serves, as well as volleys and overheads. When playing certain opponents, you can see if they were making you hit more backhands than forehands, which most players want to be hitting more forehands against most opponents. So let me explain further what my favorite feature is. The Piq score. This evaluates your motion based on professional level player swings. It rates your forehand, backhand, and serve, and it considers the speed, spin, and style of the shots. The speed goes to about 180 kilometers per hour, which is roughly around 111 miles per hour. Spin is either going to gauge your top spin, flat, or slice. Obviously flat is not a spin, but that's considered in part of spin. And style, which is the motion of the fluidity of your stroke. That is rated more on a scale of, I think it's out of 10, so 10 out of 10 fluidity. So now getting a higher score in the Piq score is tough. It truly makes you feel It truly makes your feel get better, since tension just makes your score go down. As you practice with it, try loosening up more to test out whether your score will go up or down. The Babolat Piq can actually display your serve speed after you hit a serve by pressing the button on the sensor once, and the display can also be used during the challenge mode to check the number of strokes done, or total number of strokes, and your average peak score versus your opponent's peak score. This is a pretty interesting way of having a challenge between you and your friends. You can actually challenge them to certain challenge modes and compare stats to each other and see who the winner will be by the end of the challenge. Once you're done with your play session, you easily just sync your data to your Babolat Pop app, and it probably syncs in about 30 seconds the most. I think maybe a minute might be the most, but I think I've only had it about 30 seconds. And every time you sync it, the data is right there. You can look at it, then you get to categorize it. You get to pick between whether it was an actual match, a training session, or just an open session. Then it asks you what surface it was on. It also asks you where it was, and it'll display the tennis clubs around your area if you just played there. Or you can just type in a name and it will actually come up with the names of tennis clubs around you. And it also will ask you how you were feeling, if you were feeling good, if you were feeling on top, which hopefully most of the time you guys are feeling pretty good. From there, you look at your data and you see what's happening with your peak score. It has a top peak score, which will give you the closest you came to that $10,000 prize score that you want, or it'll show you the average score. So your average peak score for that session will be displayed. You will also get a display of how many shots you hit. It divides them up into forehands, backhands, serves, volleys, and overheads. It will also give you separate data for forehands, backhands, and serves as far as your average speed, your top speed, and it will also give you the spin on your forehands and backhands. So it deciphers between your top spin, slice, and flat. All right, so there you have it. That was the Babolat Piq Sensor review. I suggest you guys go out and get one if you really want to learn about your feel. I was not paid anything for this video. This was just for me to review and test it out and see what I thought. So hopefully you guys got a lot of information out of that. If you have any questions or comments, let me know. I am in contact with some of the people over at Babolat and Piq for this, okay? I will see you on the next one.